Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star 2, Land of Origin based on novel. So let's start. Wei Yang Palace Master's Cave Mansion. This Luo Feng is extremely arrogant. Master, you personally invited him, yet he claimed to be too busy. He even said he would visit you only after screening tens of thousands of cultivators and finishing numerous affairs, reported the Shadow Tower Master's apparition. Does he think that with Yuan Xiong's support, he can ignore me as well? Wei Yang Palace Master's sculpted face revealed a faint smile. Then let him wait. Wait until he comes knocking on my door. The Shadow Tower Master bowed slightly and vanished in an instant. Among the elders of Yulon City, the majority followed Wei Yang Palace Master. The most fundamental reason was Wei Yang Palace Master's overwhelming strength. His expertise in formation techniques was integral to Yulon City's defensive system. Before Luo Feng arrived, Yuan Xiong Palace Master had already planned to transfer the city builder authority to Wei Yang Palace Master. Wei Yang Palace Master was naturally the first choice. But when Luo Feng arrived, Yuan Xiong Palace Master was astonished. Luo Feng's talent and potential far surpassed Wei Yang Palace Master. Even so, Luo Feng would first need to master 2 half-primordial level paths before Yuan Xiong Palace Master could grant him the city builder authority. Achieving such power meant absolute superiority, capable of sweeping away all dissenters. However, if Luo Feng's cultivation realm was equivalent to Wei Yang Palace Master's, or Master Gai Dao's, the former's mastery in formations was still the most crucial factor for Yulon City's defenses. Luo Feng, even Yuan Xiong values you. Wei Yang Palace Master confronted Luo Feng with the same condescension that a stronger individual would wield. He was, after all, the #1 divine emperor in Yulon City, a half-primordial level enlightened one. His physical body had been cultivated to a frightening degree. One-on-one, he could outright annihilate a divine emperor perfection low-level primordial life purely with physical strength. This feat alone underscored his unparalleled physical achievements. But his most terrifying strength lay in his mastery of formations. A formation of supreme terror, coupled with his formidable physical body, and supplemented by the powerful secret treasures he held due to his lofty status, firmly anchored him as the first in Yulon City. When low-level primordial life groups sought to attack Yulon City, Wei Yang Palace Master was always regarded as the biggest threat. I'm eager to see just how strong you truly are, daring to disregard me. Wei Yang Palace Master's tone was laced with anticipation. I'll teach you a lesson. No matter who supports you, personal strength is the foundation of authority. Even Yuan Xiong Palace Master must rely on me to guard Yulon City. Wei Yang Palace Master resolved that this time, he would make sure Luo Feng understood once and for all who truly reigned supreme in Yulon City. In the core area of Yulon City, within a towering hall in the Heaven Patrol Palace, Luo Feng sat high atop his throne, flanked on each side by rows of guards. How many suspicious cultivators have been captured in total? Luo Feng inquired. Reporting to Commander, we've captured a total of 53,622 cultivators. A patrol team captain reported back with deference. Luo Feng nodded. Bring them into the hall in batches, and have each of them walk past me. Walk past you. The guards in the hall were taken aback. No more than 1,000 cultivators per batch, Luo Feng instructed. All they need to do is walk past me. Anyone who is possessed will not escape my detection. Understood. The guards were startled but followed the orders dutifully. Very quickly, large groups of suspicious cultivators filed into the hall through the main gate and exited promptly through the side door. Oversight from the patrol team ensured that these cultivators behaved properly, none daring to disrupt order. They also noticed the black-haired, black-cloaked man seated high on the throne in the hall. Between the man's brows, a third eye, the biomimetic destruction eye, opened, silently observing them. Buzz. An invisible force cloaked the entire hall, permeating deep into the bodies of the cultivators. Not a single one dared to resist. Under the force's penetration, Luo Feng's biomimetic destruction, I discerned each cultivator's deep soul structure, perceiving even the subtlest details. In this state, Luo Feng deemed it impossible for anyone to evade his scrutiny. Commander, during the capture of suspects, 7 cultivators committed suicide, the patrol team captain reported reverently. We unanimously determined that they were likely possessed, so we apprehended those who had been in contact with them as well. Luo Feng nodded slightly. Any cultivator who walks out of the hall is free to leave. Free to leave. The patrol team captain and several guards around him were visibly shocked. Was it really going to be this simple to let them go? Based on past practice, suspects would be relentlessly extorted. But no matter how severe the extortion, these ordinary guards would see none of the benefits. All profits invariably went to Wei Yang Palace Master and certain elders. My screening process is already underway. Any cultivator leaving the hall signifies that their screening has ended and they may be released. Luo Feng cast a cold glance at the patrol team captain. Do you have any objections to my decision? None at all. The captain was frightened into immediate compliance. After all, this commander wasn't even afraid of the Shadow Tower Master, or Wei Yang Palace Master. What significance did a lowly captain like him have? Luo Feng gave him one last glance and said nothing further. The deputy commanders of Heaven Patrol Palace, along with its many captains, were figures Luo Feng hadn't bothered to engage with deeply. He had no interest in dissecting the web of selfish gains within their ranks, but if anyone dared to defy his commands, Luo Feng would immediately enforce the rules, killing ruthlessly as an example. Luo Feng suddenly detected an anomaly within the soul of one particular cultivator, entering the hall, a lurking enchanting heartworm. Even now, someone tries their luck, thinking I won't discover it. With a mere thought, a beam of bloodlight enveloped the cultivator, causing him to collapse instantly. An enchanting heartworm fell directly into Luo Feng's hands. Squish. The worm was crushed effortlessly in his grip. Luo Feng's biomimetic destruction, I examined the causality line, making it more distinct, allowing him to pinpoint the whereabouts of other avatars of the enchanting heartworm within this chain. From his cave mansion, Luo Feng immediately dispatched avatars to capture the remaining worm fragments. Still other worm fragments exist. The guards around him were astonished, while the suspicious cultivators visibly paled. Luo Feng continued his screening uninterrupted. Of the tens of thousands of cultivators gathered, groups of several hundred passed through the hall at a time. Within moments, the process was completed. Upon discovering additional avatars of the enchanting heartworm, a significant number of patrol team members mobilized yet again, capturing over 10,000 more suspicious cultivators. These captives were promptly escorted to Heaven Patrol Palace, where Luo Feng methodically screened and released them all. Are we really being released just like that? Did we just leave Heaven Patrol Palace? Some cultivators, having been detained for less than a day, were freed without losing any primordial crystals. Not a single extortion attempt. This is unbelievable. As they glanced back at the imposing Heaven Patrol Palace, the cultivators felt stunned. They had mentally prepared themselves for prolonged imprisonment and relentless exploitation. Leave quickly. Why are you hoping to go back in? The palace guards barked commands to usher them away. The cultivators heaved sighs of relief, swiftly retreating, each feeling deeply fortunate. Phew. Only after this arduous process did Luo Feng finally find a moment to rest. Leaving Heaven Patrol Palace, he flew outward. Commander. The guards stationed at the entrance saluted with utmost reverence, watching Luo Feng as he departed. The Heaven Patrol Palace commander used to be the Shadow Tower Master, but now it's Luo Feng Divine Emperor. Luo Feng Divine Emperor merely had us walk through the hall, then released us. Luo Feng Divine Emperor is far superior to the Shadow Tower Master in both investigative secret techniques and execution methods. He has no interest in exploiting us even slightly. If only figures like Luo Feng Divine Emperor could rise to power. The cultivators exchanged whispered discussions. Their hearts were aflame with admiration. With leaders like Luo Feng, common cultivators could enjoy far better days. However, the cultivation world was one of survival of the fittest. Those in positions of power, who were compassionate, remained the exception. Far more common were individuals like Wei Yang Palace Master, Shadow Tower Master, or Insect Nest Master. Once Luo Feng completed his work, he headed to Wei Yang Palace Master's cave mansion. Luo Feng Divine Emperor. The guards at the mansion smirked mockingly. Our master has been waiting for you for quite some time. Please, come in. Luo Feng nodded and strode inside. Within the largest cave mansion in the city, Luo Feng followed the guards for quite some time, before reaching a vast courtyard. There only one figure stood. Wei Yang Palace Master's form resembled a statue, emotionless. His entire demeanor was akin to a puppet, save for a pair of profound eyes that seemed to encompass infinite worlds, giving Luo Feng a sense of the master's extraordinary nature. Luo Feng. Wei Yang Palace Master's gaze landed on Luo Feng, and his emotionless face unfurled into a faint smile. You too are a source world expert, possess avatars galore, yet couldn't spare a single avatar to meet me earlier. Instead, you had me wait until you finished screening tens of thousands of cultivators. Were you deliberately trying to humiliate me? Screening tens of thousands of cultivators requires full focus and can't be done with distractions, Luo Feng replied calmly. Meeting the palace master deserves my wholehearted sincerity. Sincerity. Wei Yang Palace Master nodded slightly. Now that you're done screening, here's my condition. Resign as commander of Heaven Patrol Palace, and I'll consider you a friend. Resigning isn't an option. Luo Feng shook his head. Wei Yang Palace Master froze momentarily, then spoke coldly again. I am telling you, resign as commander. Luo Feng looked at him in surprise, then suddenly burst into hearty laughter. Ha ha ha, ha ha ha. Amusing, truly amusing. Wei Yang Palace Master's face darkened. Is this funny to you? Of course it's funny. Luo Feng fixed his gaze on him. Today marks our first meeting, and you dare demand I relinquish my position as commander. Isn't it the grandest jest imaginable? What arrogance drives you to think you can make such demands of me? Wei Yang Palace Master stared back at Luo Feng. HMPH. He snorted coldly. Black flames ignited out of thin air, encircling Luo Feng's body. The terrifying flames carried power so overwhelming that even a divine emperor perfection, low-level primordial life, would likely suffer serious damage under them. However, Luo Feng, equipped with his perfected undying blood sea body, bolstered further by his undying heart, had reached a level of physical prowess no lesser than that of a divine emperor perfection, low-level primordial life. His resilience was undoubtedly astonishing. Is this all you've got? Luo Feng smiled, standing unfazed. Not even a hair out of place. Wei Yang Palace Master observed this, smiling faintly. You do have some talent. Bound by city laws, direct confrontations couldn't escalate, leaving him to resort to subtle demonstrations to intimidate Luo Feng. Yet, his flames had proven ineffective, as if Luo Feng regarded them no more than air. Luo Feng, in Yulon City, it would be wise to listen to me. Wei Yang Palace Master addressed him coldly. Follow my lead, and I can help make you a palace master in the future. Luo Feng stared back, chuckling, in Yulon City, your word holds no weight. With that, Luo Feng turned and walked away. Watching Luo Feng's retreating figure, Wei Yang Palace Master sneered. Resisting a mere thread of black sun fire, and you think you can contend with me? Ridiculous. Wei Yang Palace Master simmered in anger. Those bold enough to disrespect him in all of Yulon City were few and far between. Today, Luo Feng joined their ranks. Luo Feng left Wei Yang Palace Master's cave mansion. What a piece of trash. Before this meeting, Luo Feng had already anticipated it, especially since places like the Insect Nest, Deceit Workshop, and Shadow Tower were all under Wei Yang Palace Master's faction. This meeting only confirmed Luo Feng's judgment. Wei Yang Palace Master, truly a piece of trash. To maintain the operation of a city, relying on trade, residence fees, and rental profits, these are understandable, Luo Feng thought. But still dissatisfied with that, resorting to theft, plundering, and even using the guise of investigating suspicious cultivators, squeezing them even further. Wei Yang Palace Master, you truly are trash. Luckily, you haven't yet obtained the City Builder Authority. If you did, I can only imagine the atrocities you'd commit. Wei Yang Palace Master and Luo Feng were vastly different. Wei Yang Palace Master had reached the level of a half-primordial enlightened a long time ago, deeply entrenched in this stage, making further progress extremely difficult. He no longer strove for improvement, and only sought easy access to more resources. Naturally, he attached great importance to Yulon City. Luo Feng was different. Luo Feng's cultivation soared to new heights, and the Nine Rivers Sacred Realms Yulon City was merely one of many stops on his cultivation journey. Once I accumulate enough, break through in the life and death Dao, and obtain the City Builder Authority, I'll drive Wei Yang Palace Master out. Luo Feng thought. Yuan Xiong Palace Master. Walking through Yulon City, Luo Feng transmitted a message to Yuan Xiong Palace Master. From now on, I intend to start investigating all hidden low-level primordial life forms in the entire city. You're going to start the investigation now. Yuan Xiong Palace Master sounded pleasantly surprised, laughing in his reply. Brother Luo Feng, you act way faster than the other elders. You've just taken the position of Heaven Patrol Palace Commander, finished screening the suspicious cultivators, and now you're starting a thorough citywide investigation. The formations around every cave mansion in the city currently shield the cultivators inside, making it temporarily impossible to investigate them, Luo Feng explained in his transmission. Outside the cave mansions, the cultivators accounted for only a small portion of the city's population. Start your investigation first. Once you're done, I'll arrange for all cave mansion formations to be closed in batches, Yuan Xiong Palace Master transmitted back. Okay, Luo Feng responded. Naturally, the eye of biomimetic destruction opened at the center of his brows, scanning his surroundings. He could vaguely perceive the souls of numerous cultivators on the streets nearby. Whoosh! 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 From his cave mansion, 5 of Luo Feng's avatars flew out. Each avatar had its eye of biomimetic destruction open. A total of 6 Luo Feng avatars divided the city into zones, conducting a meticulous sweep. At this moment, Yulon City was cloaked in light rain. The cultivators within the city came in diverse appearances, while Luo Feng, with an additional eye at his brow, blended seamlessly into the city's scenery. His 6 avatars flew casually, surveying area after area. Found one lurker, enchanting heartworm avatar. Found a second, enchanting heartworm avatar. Found the ninth, soul-devouring snake avatar. Even upon discovering them, Luo Feng refrained from stirring the pot, and instead quietly recorded the cultivators' identities. Using Yulon City's detailed database, identifying their designated cave mansion locations was an easy task. After half a day, all 6 of Luo Feng's avatars traversed the city in its entirety, finally regrouping. Yuan Xiong Palace Master, I've completed the sweep of the entire city. Everyone outside their cave mansions has been screened, Luo Feng transmitted. I identified a total of 22 lurkers. 22. Yuan Xiong Palace Master was elated. Once we eliminate them, following the causality line, should allow us to capture a batch of additional lurkers. Luo Feng nodded. In terms of observational secret techniques, he was unmatched in Yulon City. However, in matters of causality, there were still others stronger than him. I'll now organize the elders into teams. They'll exterminate these 22 lurkers, and follow the causality lines to capture more lurkers, Yuan Xiong Palace Master transmitted. This minor affair doesn't require your involvement. Understood, Luo Feng responded. Tracking them via causality was something the elders could handle. Asterisk 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 asterisk. The eye of biomimetic destruction allowed Luo Feng to view the entire city. However, the larger the range he observed, the less detailed his vision became. He could only discern the faint aura of many cultivators, making it difficult to probe their physical bodies, let alone their souls. Action time. Luo Feng's eye of biomimetic destruction had long locked onto the 22 suspicious lurkers. He saw everything clearly. 22 elder-level figures launched their attacks simultaneously, striking down the 22 lurkers in an instant. Using the causality lines, related avatars were rapidly captured thereafter. In a plain cave mansion in Yulon City's outer district, a red-robed cultivator lived in solitude. King, our mid- and low-tier clan members lurking inside Yulon City are being killed one by one, a voice echoed within the red-robed cultivator's mind. At least 30 clan avatars have died, and the number is quickly increasing. Mid- and lower-tier clan members, avatars getting slaughtered. The red-robed cultivator murmured in confusion, why have so many been exposed? This operation's details were known only to leadership-level figures. We carefully restricted core members, but as for mid-tier and low-tier clan members, the constraints weren't strict. The voice explained. Naturally, those mid-tier and low-tier clan members are unaware of the importance of the operation. Their true bodies remain outside the city. Those lurking inside are nothing but offspring avatars, the voice added. Then there's no need to act. The red-robed cultivator responded, remain patient. Now is not the time to act. Understood. The voice replied. In Yulon City, tracing the 22 identified lurkers by Luo Feng along the causality line produced 76 additional avatars. Furthermore, implicated suspicious cultivators were sent to the Heaven Patrol Palace in large numbers. During the capture process, over 100 of these suspicious cultivators committed suicide. Brother Luo Feng truly deserves great credit. This round of screening has already forced out around 200 lurkers. Yuan Xiong Palace Master was pleased. They had suspected that a considerable number of low-level primordial life forms were hidden. Previously, uncovering them had been extremely challenging. Now, things were much smoother. Luo Feng worked tirelessly, stationed at the Heaven Patrol Palace to screen every suspicious cultivator one by one. These cultivators were captured, interrogated, and released on the same day, without being extorted for treasures, causing widespread discussion within Yulon City. King, we've lost 205 clan avatars this time. These avatars belong to 23 clans, with most wielding power at the middle stage, or early-stage Divine Emperor levels, the voice reported. Ignore it, the red-robed cultivator responded indifferently. A few middle-stage and early-stage Divine Emperor clan members held no significance to the true city annihilation operation. Taking advantage of this, I've issued orders for all members to go entirely dormant. No unauthorized actions are permitted, the voice said. Having lost so many in succession, they are now obediently following orders. Patience is key. Once the timing is right, we will move, the red-robed cultivator declared, remaining composed. He gazed in the direction of Yulon City's core region. The elders of Yulon City are clueless about how many clan members have infiltrated. Across the 9 Rivers Sacred Realm, the core members of both the Enchanting Heartworm and Soul-Devouring Snake clans have concentrated here half of the core strength of their respective branches, the red-robed cultivator mused. Only those with late-stage Divine Emperor strength could be considered core members. Divine Emperor perfection level figures are the leaders of a clan branch. Boom. Suddenly, Yulon City trembled violently, as a terrifying pressure erupted. The red-robed cultivator was stunned, his gaze piercing through the formation to glimpse the outside, where dense purple light enveloped the entire city. Boom. Another earth-shaking sound reverberated, the city's rain transformed into mist, with an invisible force emanating throughout every corner. Boom. 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 Explosions thundered through Yulon City as one formation after another detonated. The surge of heaven and earth power grew increasingly chaotic and overwhelming, with the city's skies resembling turbulent seas. Ordinarily, the elders only devoted a fraction of their consciousness to maintaining Yulon City's defensive systems. But during critical moments like siege battles, they concentrated their full strength to bolster the formations, amplifying their power considerably. This was such a moment. The city's formations were being activated in succession, their might escalating rapidly. This methodical activation signified that Yulon City was not yet in a state of urgency. What's happening? Why are Yulon City's formations operating at full strength? The red-robed cultivator asked in alarm. Could the operation be compromised? Impossible. All participating core members were strictly constrained, even the detailed operational plans are known only to the leaders, the red-robed cultivator felt unease. After tens of breaths had passed, the vast array of formations throughout Yulon City erupted fully, their formidable power enveloping every corner of the city. This left the cultivators within tense and anxious. I am Yuan Xiong. A soothing voice resonated across the entire city. Fellow cultivators of Yulon City, do not panic. Our city has developed a method to detect low-level primordial life-form lurkers. From this moment, all cave mansion formations will be shut down in batches. Please voluntarily deactivate any personal formations within your residences to facilitate identity verification. The entire screening process will be completed within a day. Yuan Xiong Palace Master's voice echoed throughout the city. They can screen the entire city now. Wonderful. It's about time we eradicate all the lurking low-level primordial life forms. Throughout various districts, the vast majority of cultivators cheered. Over 90% of the city's cultivators were below the Divine Emperor level, powerless against those lurking low-level primordial life forms, a true nightmare for them. If the screening successfully removed all of them in one go, subsequent periodic checks would markedly enhance the city's safety. King. They are preparing to screen the entire city. The voice sounded urgent. The red-robed cultivator naturally heard the citywide announcement, his expression darkening. He was the mastermind behind the Annihilate Yulon City operation and the first to arrive. The other kings hadn't all gathered yet, as the designated time for the operation hadn't arrived. The city's forces require meticulous infiltration, so they've arrived ahead of schedule and they are all here. However, Only 30% of our forces outside the city have arrived, with the rest still en route, the red-robed cultivator seethed. No matter. Even if we launch prematurely, our low-level primordial life forms may suffer heavier losses, but the probability of annihilating the city remains above 90%. The red-robed cultivator's gaze turned icy. He realized there was no time to wait. Delaying further risked exposure to a full-scale screening. Transmit my order, follow the planned operation, begin. The red-robed cultivator's voice abruptly echoed, within the minds of all lurking low-level primordial life forms in the city, an intangible mental wave inspiring their unconditional compliance. P.S. Rest day tomorrow, the day after, the battle for Yulon City begins. This video will end here.